5 things that we need to see in the Boruto time skip. So assuming that the Boruto time skip takes place next chapter, which if you watched my last video then you'll know that it's very likely that we are getting into the time skip next chapter. But again, assuming that we do get into it next chapter, here are 5 things that I think absolutely need to be covered in the time skip. And if you're an anime only watcher, then spoilers ahead. First off, we need to see Naruto's funeral. Now I would much rather get this before a time skip, but this is something that I think is most definitely going to happen at some point. Because Naruto is dead, at least that's what everyone thinks at this current point in time. In chapter 77 we saw Kawaki seal both Naruto and Hinata away in Daikoku-ten. And it was confirmed that everyone thinks he's dead in chapter 79 when Kawaki made Ada tell Shikamaru. So naturally, just like we saw for Hiruzen and Minato as well as Kushina, we should definitely see one for Naruto and Hinata. I feel like it only makes sense, and if they don't do a funeral for Naruto, I feel like it's such a wasted opportunity. We could see some really interesting things with the characters, like how Himawari feels about the whole situation, with the fact that she may think that Boruto is the one who killed them, or it could show us that for whatever reason she isn't affected by Ada's omnipotence, and that opens up a whole new reaction from Himawari that could be really interesting in my opinion. I'd also like to see what Sarada thinks, as she definitely knows that Kawaki is responsible for all of this, so her thought process could be a really interesting thing to see as well. Same with Samire, who's in the exact same situation as Sarada. I just feel like it's something that needs to happen, and it could open up a door for some really good character moments. It's too big an opportunity for them not to do a funeral for Naruto and Hinata. But while we're on this topic, we absolutely have to see who's the next Hokage. I mean, I think it's pretty obvious that Kakashi is going to take up the mantle again, but I'm open for them to take a different approach, such as Shikamaru, Sakura, even Konohamaru, but that one's not all that likely, all things considered. But yeah, we 100% need to see who the next Hokage is. And like I said, I'm pretty sure they'll just go with Kakashi. Not only would it make the most sense based on what we know with Hiruzen stepping up as Hokage after Minato's death in Naruto, but it was mentioned a few years back that Kakashi would have a bigger role in the Boruto series. If I remember right, this was when Kodachi was still writing the Boruto story, but I feel like Kishimoto could still hold true to this statement. He has no reason not to. And as I said, it just makes sense for the former Hokage to step back up considering he's still alive and fully capable of running the village. But like I said, I'm open for a different approach. The next best option, in my opinion, would be Shikamaru. He was already Naruto's advisor, so it would make sense for him to step up to become the 8th Hokage. This could also be pretty interesting considering how he may react. I mean, we know Shikamaru was completely against Kawaki being in the village and being so close to Naruto all the time. And right now Shikamaru thinks Boruto is Kawaki, and Shikamaru is no stranger to getting revenge for someone he cares about being killed. So we could see Shikamaru leading the Leaf to hunt down Boruto and Sasuke, which I think could be a pretty cool plot. As for Sakura, I just mentioned her because she's a member of Team 7 and runs all the medical stuff in Konoha, so she's a very capable leader. And I think she'd be a fine Hokage if that's the route they went with. I genuinely don't think that Konohamaru makes any sense as Hokage, like at all. He's just not strong enough, and despite saying that he wants to be Hokage, he still hasn't proved that he's fit for that role in any way, shape, or form at this point in the story. But yeah, that's my 3 picks for the possible future Hokage since Naruto is quote-unquote dead. I'm like 90% sure they'll just go with Kakashi though. Speaking of returning characters, yeah, we for sure need to see what Kashin Koji has been doing since he bailed on the Ishiki fight. I mean, they made it pretty clear that he was alive after the fight, and he retreated after completing his goal of drawing out Ishiki from Jigen. First off, we need to see what he's been up to since he's been gone. Like, did he retreat back to Mount Miyaboku and do some more like Sage Mode training with the toads. Or they could even go down a pretty cool path where he like needs to be repaired because he is a cyborg after all. And we know that he didn't go to Amato after he fought Jigen, so what if he found Orochimaru or vice versa? It could be pretty cool to show us Orochimaru and Koji, like who is pretty much Jiraiya, interacting again. I mean, at this point, I feel like Boruto's gonna need all the help he can get. And Kashin Koji would have no idea that Kawaki sealed Naruto and betrayed the leaf, or that Ada reversed their roles, so maybe Koji helps Boruto, who he thinks is Kawaki. I think they could definitely do something interesting with his character going forward, and him coming back into the story is definitely one of my things that I think I need to see. And I feel like a lot of people feel the same way. Speaking of things people really want to see, Code, despite being a favorite character of mine, has done nothing but take L's throughout the series. I mean, he started off super menacing, but once he went after Kawaki, it was just tragic. Boruto pulled up and activated True Essence Karma and then just went to town on Code before Momoshiki swapped with him. Then Kawaki quote-unquote killed Boruto and proceeded to do exactly what Boruto did to Code. I mean, Code had to pull Damon onto the battlefield just to not die against Kawaki. And funny enough, right after, it seemed like Code was about to go crazy after getting his limiters removed, but he just gets beat up by Damon and runs away with Bug. I say all this to say that Code needs to pull up to the leaf or something at this point and then just destroy it. Or at least do something on that level to make up for all the L's he's took so far. Code just doesn't feel like a big threat because he has had zero success within the story so far. But with the Ten Tails army at his disposal, I think he could change all that, and I really hope he does in part 2. Speaking of things that need to change in part 2, I hate to say it, but at this rate, Momoshiki is in the same boat as Code. He's just taking L's left and right. He first lost to Naruto, Sasuke, and Boruto, and now his whole prophecy that has been hyped up for the entire series just fails, and he can't do anything to stop it. Momoshiki was one of my favorite characters in the series, mainly due to this prophecy and the mystery surrounding it. But if his prophecy actually ends the way it did in chapter 80, then I'm going to be severely disappointed. And it might make him one of, if not my least favorite villain in all of Boruto. So what I want to see happen is Momoshiki's prophecy actually coming true. And as much as I love Sasuke, I think the most effective way for Boruto to despair at this point is if Sasuke is killed. Or maybe sealed away like Naruto and Hinata are. Because without Sasuke, Boruto doesn't have anyone that could actually help him at this point in the story. And once he despairs, Momoshiki can take over. I'm sure there are other ways that Momoshiki could make Boruto despair and take over his body, but I feel like this is the most effective way that I can think of at least. Plus, we would get a huge character death, which is motivation for Boruto in the future, as well as Sarada. Now, I do think that Sasuke will most likely die at some point in the series. It's been hinted at for a while now, so what better way than to kill Sasuke, have Boruto despair, Momoshiki's prophecy comes true, Sarada has motivation to turn on the village, assuming Sasuke's death is caused by someone within the leaf, maybe like, Shikamaru or something. As well as her getting her EMS from Sasuke because she can take his eyes. I think it would just be insane. And like I said, I don't want Sasuke to die, but it's been hinted at for a long time now, and what better way to do it than exactly like this. But yeah, that's going to do it for this video. I really hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, make sure to leave a like and consider subscribing, as well as leaving a comment down below to let me know all of your thoughts on any of these topics. Make sure to check out my podcast that I do with Kamui and Screenwriter's Perspective. That'll be linked in the description down below. Also, consider becoming a channel member for some extra content, perks, badges, and custom emotes. All of that is also linked in the description. But yeah, that's it for this video. Thanks for watching. Trippy out. Peace.